Welcome, everyone. We are standing right on the precipice of the largest, absolutely most spectacular sporting event in human history. The beautiful game is back. And honestly, if you're new to the world of international football or soccer, depending on where you live, you have literally picked the absolute perfect time to jump in. Today's explainer is your ultimate survival guide to the 2026 World Cup. We're going to break down the drama, the deep-rooted history, and the sheer mind-blowing scale of what is about to unfold across North America. Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our playbook for today. We'll start off with Welcome to the Spectacle, move right into Legends versus Rising Stars, break down those historic team rivalries, highlight the must-watch group stage clashes, and finish up with the global fan expansion. Let's get to it.
Section 1. Welcome to the Spectacle.
Now, for the first time ever, the World Cup is being co-hosted by three massive nations: Canada, Mexico, and the United States. It's a staggering geographical footprint, and the field is even expanding from 32 to 48 teams. But just how big is the 2026 World Cup when we're talking about actual global viewership?
Billions, literally billions. That is the number you need to keep in mind here. Over 5 billion people, which is more than half the population of planet Earth, are projected to tune in and watch these matches. Think about that for a second. It's a level of synchronized global attention that no other event, political or cultural, can even come close to touching. When a goal goes in, billions of people will be reacting at the exact same second. It's wild.
And you know, a World Cup isn't just a quick summer tournament. It's a multi-year global campaign. Stage 1, the qualifiers, well, those have been raging for years globally, with nations fighting tooth and nail just for the right to pack their bags. Then you've got Stage 2, which is the massive logistical prep currently happening all across North America. And finally, Stage 3, the 2026 opening kickoff, where all of this pent-up anticipation finally explodes onto the pitch.
Section 2, Legends versus Rising Stars.
Every great spectacle needs compelling characters, right? And we are witnessing an absolute once-in-a-lifetime clash. On one side, you have this seasoned, trophy-laden era defined by icons like Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo taking their final bows. On the other side, you've got the rapid, record-breaking ascent of fearless teenagers like Spain's Lamine Yamal. It's an incredible contrast, decades of experience going up against fearless, raw youth.
This is, quite simply, the ultimate passing of the torch. You're just watching a sports competition. You're watching an entire era of football close its doors while a completely new generation kicks them wide open. Expect to see the methodical, almost chess-like experience of the veterans clashing directly with the relentless, high-pressing speed of the kids.
Section 3, Historic Team Rivalries Explained.
Okay. If you really want to understand the beating heart of international football, you have to understand the bad blood. We call it a derby or a historic rivalry. Basically, it's a highly anticipated match fueled by decades of geographic, cultural, or sporting history. These guys out there aren't just athletes. They're representatives of nations carrying the weight of decades-old grievances and, of course, the ultimate bragging rights. When you look at traditional heavyweight matchups, you're looking at a deeply lopsided ledger of historical beef. Whether it's the 100-plus brutal chapters of Argentina versus Brazil, or the USA and Mexico fighting tooth and nail for CONCACAF dominance. I mean, fans still chant the infamous 2-0 scoreline just to mock their rivals. Every single tackle is weighed against a century of history. So what actually fuels these fires? Well, it's a pretty potent cocktail. You have decades of historical grievances and regional dominance on the line, compounded by the lingering sting of past knockout stage heartbreak. Add to that the passionate, traveling fan bases, bringing flares, drums, and deafening chants, and the stadium atmosphere becomes absolutely spine-tingling.
Section 4. Must-watch group stage clashes.
Because of the new expanded 48-team format, the initial group stage is going to be an absolute minefield. As the saying goes, these aren't just games. They are battles for national pride from the very first whistle. The draw pretty much guarantees that heavyweights and bitter rivals are going to collide early, pushing emotional stakes to the absolute maximum on day one. For newly minted fans, here is your survival framework. First, identify the historic rivalries so you know exactly who hates who and why. Next, keep your eyes fixed on the midfield battles. That's where the veterans and rising stars physically clash for control of the game. And finally, watch the crowd. The weeping, hyper-emotional fans will tell you everything you need to know about the gravity of the match.
The reality is, it's high stakes right out of the gate. Teams only get 3 guaranteed matches in the group stage. One single mistake or an unexpected loss to a bitter rival, and a tournament favorite could be booking an embarrassingly early flight home. Every single point is about survival.
Section 5. The Global Fan Expansion.
The audience for the beautiful game is honestly conquering entirely new frontiers. The fastest growing fan bases aren't just in the traditional strongholds of Europe or South America anymore. We're seeing massive, unprecedented spikes across North America, Asia, and Africa. Hosting this in the US, Canada, and Mexico is like pouring gasoline on an already roaring fire, turning casual local sports fans into die-hard football fanatics almost overnight.
Crucially, this expansion is heavily driven by youth. With 40% of new fans being Gen Z and 35% millennials, the old stereotype of the traditional football viewer is completely shattered. This is a highly digital, intensely connected generation that follows individual rising stars on TikTok and Instagram just as fiercely as they follow the national crests.
What we are witnessing is an expanding, unstoppable global phenomenon. The 2026 World Cup is not just a sports tournament. It is a unifying, global cultural moment. With billions watching, fierce rivalries playing out, and a brand new generation taking the reins both on the pitch and in the stands, it will undoubtedly be the most universally discussed event in human history. Which leaves us with one final, absolutely vital question. Now that you know the players, the deep-rooted history, and those intense rivalries, whose side will you be on when that opening whistle blows? Pick your colors, embrace the spectacle, and get ready for an unforgettable ride. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you on the pitch.